Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. Today we're going to be taking a look, finally, at the Republic of Gamers Enthusiast SLI Bridges. Now I do say enthusiast because a lot of people have been saying, what's the point of them? Am I going to get 10 frames a second extra? Is it going to make my rig quicker? No, it's not, but it's going to make them hella prettier. There are some other brands out there that have done their own, so Republic of Gamers have released their ones, and I have to admit, when you do get them in your hands, they are very, very nice. But you do have to also go very careful because there's essentially 3 different ways that you can use the two-way, because there's a 3-way there and you can use that for 2-way. You've got a 2-way here which has 2 ways of using it for 2-way, and then you've got the 4-way which is just massive. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and go through the different ways that you can use the bridges and the layouts, and I'll show you how to change this one because this one can be interchanged with others, another bridge that comes in the box. But we'll go through it and we'll try and show you how to, how they look and work out which one you're going to need for your rig yourself. Now, one thing I will say is I always do mention, I go through and I cover loads of stuff and then people still end up asking me what bridges and stuff that they need. You really do just need to look at your motherboards, peeps, and work out from the information that's in this video. I can't keep answering hundreds upon hundreds of questions every time, and it's just something that you can really simply just work out just by looking at your board. But I'm going to show you these fitted and the layouts as well, so you're going to be able to work it out yourself. So first things first, we'll get it undone and you get the first look at it, and we can do it. Ooh. Hang on a minute, take your time, Tom, take your time, undress her slowly. Oh, right. So what we do have is a single piece of machined aluminium here, and then you've got a brushed alley face on it. That's also got the ROG logo machined out of it. Now this will light up, which I'll show you later. But like I said, this has multiple uses. Now this is the 2-way, and what they call it on the back of the box, as you can see that we've got 2-way S and 2-way M. I'll bring you up a little logo so you can see it a little bit better. Now you can see on the first one you've got the cards sandwiched right next door to each other. If you look at the bottom you can see that it's a 2-slot card because it's got 2 pins, and then you've got they're right next door to each other, so they take up 4 slots. On the 2-way M you can see that we've got the 2 pins at the bottom, so that's a 2-slot card. Then there's a gap, one single gap between, and then you can see that we've got the other 2 slots. So they take up a total of 5 slots. You can work that out by counting the expansion slots on the back of your board. So when we come back, what we can see is we've got the 2 different ones here, and essentially you can unscrew them and swap them out. So I will show you that just quickly now, just so that you can get the idea of what's going on. And there's also a little cutout here that I do need to show you, and then what I will do is I will show you the difference between the 2 as well, so you can get an idea on the layouts and stuff. And we will also do that for the 3-way and the 4-way, just to make sure that you do end up buying the correct one that you need. Okay, so comes with this one fitted. If you do need the longer one fitted on this one, then what you can do is you could just buzz the screws out that are here and here, and then you can prise that open and you can pull it open, and you can see here that we have the connector going through to the LED, and then all you need to do is pop that out and we can plug it back into here. And we need to make sure it goes in the ROG one because that is the one that it come out from. So we pop that back in there. So we've got that back in there. Now while we're here, you can see that there is an external connection here as well. Now, if you've not got an ROG card but you want to use the Asus SLI Bridges, maybe you've got a Strix card or something, what you can do is fit this one in here, like this. You push it in and you can see that we've got this little cutout just here by my finger, and then what you do is you would poke that out there like that. You screw your bridge back together here and here, and then this goes off, and it's an external power, because some of the cards might not actually power this LED, and that's what this external power cable is for. It is quite long. I'd say there's 30 centimeters of cable there. It's not braided, but it's a very matte kind of nylon-y covering, so you should be able to hide it around the back of your card and get it into the back of your board really easily. If anything, what I would probably do is get the cable fitted first, maybe poke it around the back of your motherboard or something and have it coming straight up by the card, and then fit this bit afterwards. So that's the way that you would swap these two. It's really simple, nice and easy. You've got your connectors and stuff. Really not a difficult thing to do if you want to change from the two-way S to the two-way M. Okay, so here we have the first one fitted, which is the two-way S. And if we zoom us in, up on this side, you can see that we've got the 4 screws in place and no gaps. So this is when you need it in this configuration, is when you've got your 2 cards fitted, no gaps between them whatsoever. Now with the motherboard that we're using, obviously we can use different ones. I'm just using this as a demonstration to show you how the cards look and to make sure that you purchase the right one when you get it, or purchase the right one in the first place, to make sure you get the, yeah, you know what I mean. So here we have the two-way M. You can see it in. You can also see that we've got a gap between the 2 cards, slightly better for cooling. Again, don't forget, work this out on your motherboard just by fitting the graphics cards that you've got, or looking at the slots that you're going to have. Because essentially you can see what I've done here is you can see we've got the 2 slots screwed in for the graphics card. Then we've got 1 missing in the middle, and then we've got the 2 here. So you've got your 2 graphics card with this 1 slot gap. That's when you need the two-way SLI bridge, and you need to use it in the two-way M. So the 3-way SLI bridge, just to make things confusing, can be used for 3-way, but it can also be used for 2-way L, they call it as well. The best thing I do is, if I bring the graphic up for you, you can see that in the 3-way, you've got 6 slots, 3 2-slot graphics cards, and they all fit in, and you can see that there's a notch for each SLI at the top. But on the 2-way L, essentially you've just got that middle graphics card missing. So these are for the people out there that have got a motherboard with correct spacing, or what I would call correct spacing, or good spacing for 2 cards. And that's, you've got the 2-way, you've got the 2 slots in between the card. So you can see at the very top of the drawing that you can see that you've got the SLI tab that's there, that basically that just doesn't get used. So what I'll do is I'll show you the 2 and the 3-way actually on the rig now. Okay, so this is the 2-way L fitted, and we can show this quite easily by, you can see we've got the 2 screws at the top again, then we've got 2 screws gap, and then the 2 screws for the next graphics card. So if you've got this kind of config, which I personally say for a 2-way SLI, this is the perfect config, because you've actually got a good 2 full slots there for your cards to be able to breathe. This is the one that you need. So if you've got this kind of config, you need to buy the 3-way bridge. Now, one thing I will say while we're here is that the 3-way bridge is much wider than the 2-way bridge, because the 2-way bridge, as I can show you here, has only got 1 connection for the SLI, but the 3-way and the 4-way both use 2 tabs. So that's why it's much fatter, much chunkier looking on this one. And then there were 3. We have all 3 cards in, triple bracket, pretty simple with this one, no gaps between the cards. It's obviously not ideal for cooling, but they're all in there, they're all singing away nice and happy, and I do think that big chunk holding them all together at the end does give a really nice industrial feel to everything. And then there were 4. This is probably going to be the configuration you're going to see the least online. We've shown it to you anyway. Yes, there is 4 GTX 980 Matrix Platinums being held together by the ROG SLI Enthusiast bridge, or the ROG Enthusiast SLI bridge. So that is the e-peen that we all would aspire to if we possibly could do, but very few of us ever get to actually do it. Very few of us ever get to actually see it, let alone do it. So there you go, I've shown you all of the combinations that you can do with the different SLI bridges. The fourth one is the really easy one, but there we go. Okay then peeps, so long story short, there are 3 different bridges and a couple of different combinations. If you've got your cards are side by side, or you've got a 1 slot gap, you need the 2-way SLI bridge. And you do get the 2 different PCBs that you can change them as well. If you've got 2 cards, but you've got a 2 slot gap between your 2 cards, you actually need the 3-way SLI bridge. And then after that, it's really simple. If you've got 3 cards, you need a 3-way. If you've got 4 cards, you need a 4-way. But it's just the first 2 instances you just need to go careful on. I know people are going to want to know where we can get them from and how much. Even I don't know yet. Now I've got my samples of these from Asus. I don't think it should be too long before they hit the stores. I do think it might be quite limited though. I don't think they're going to have these going forever and ever. So when they do pop up, if you want them, I would jump on them like a tramp on a £5 note, because I do think they're going to get snapped up pretty quickly. And I think from the way I'm reading things, when they're gone, they're going to be gone. So that's going to be it. Do they improve performance? No, it's not about that. It's about eye candy. So if you want them, you're getting them because you want to tart things up. I do actually think they do look the part, and where it's a solid chunk of metal that they've machined as well, it does give it a nice heavy quality feel, and I did really like these. The one that we've got here on the rig beside me is the 3-way one with the 2 cards on the Rampage. Now don't forget, I have used the Rampage because it meant I could show you all of them. I've given you enough information that you should be able to work it out. Please don't ask me questions about motherboards and stuff in the bottom, because then all I have to do is go on to Google Images and Google your motherboard. It's really simple for you to be able to work it out yourself. It's actually easier for you guys, because if you've got the rig, you can sit there and you can count the slots. If you've got a 2-slot graphics card, you can count how many are going to be used, and then you can count the gaps as well. It is pretty simple. So you know, if I don't reply in the comments, it's because, please, I've tried to make this so thorough that it's going to answer all your questions for you. Okay, so please don't take offence. I have to cover that, because otherwise I do get 15 million questions and people moaning in the bottom. Anyway, so next thing is this rig by the side of me, and the reason why we use this rig is because we're giving it away. So you've seen me use 4 980s in the video, and that's because the 2 in this system that were here are part of the giveaway system. Specs are a 5960X, and that's the 8-core 16-thread Intel. That's like £900. I think it's like over $1,000 in the States. We've got a Rampage 5 Extreme, 2 GTX 983 Matrix Platinums. We've got H105 for the cooling. We've got a ROG front base around the front, all in a 780T. We've got 2 512GB solid state drives in this. You've got a terabyte of solid state drive storage. We changed all the fans as well. They're all the white LED Corsair fans in there, and an AX1200i power supply. So we're giving that away. I've been working with PC Specialist on this, and the competition closes on the 30th of April. I think it's 15:59 PST or 23:59 GMT +1, because obviously we're in summertime now, but essentially it's right at the end of the day on Thursday for the Brits and midway through the day for the Americans. All you need to do is sign up. That's real dead simple. It's all easy peasy. So I'm going to put the link underneath. I will put the link down below. So make sure you enter. There's only a small window for this now, but while it was here, I thought I would show it off with all the cards, so you actually get an idea for them as well, to work out all the slots and all that type of stuff. But please, it really isn't rocket science. You should be able to work out which one that you need now. You're either going to, most of you are going to need the 1-way or the 2-way. As I've said previously, if you've got a 1-slot gap, you need the 2-way one. If you've got a 2-slot gap between your cards, which I'm hoping most of you will have, those of you will actually need to buy the 3-way card. So yeah, all nice and simple. Hopefully I've explained it. I've shown you the epic rig that we're giving you away one more time. It's the last time you're going to see it on the video. The next time I'm hoping that we have any coverage of it will be with the lucky winner stood beside it, and it could be you. But for now at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out. Ding! It's not a big enough ding, was it? Ding! Losing the plot, man. Losing the plot.